Hey, this is Darren from Property Prosperity. I'm super excited tonight because I've had my first viewer question, so I'll do my best to try and answer it as best I can. The questions come through from Mr. Andrew Crosby, a long-time listener, first-time caller, which is great to hear. And he's asked me the question. He's got a block of land in Wallaroo, and he's asked me whether he should sell his block of land in Wallaroo or not. So the answer is, if you want to sell it, then you should just sell it, basically. And if you don't want to sell it, then don't sell it. That's probably as simple as it gets, really, because the fact you're asking me the question whether you should sell your block of land probably hints towards the fact you're thinking about selling your block of land. So that's probably my feedback. If you're thinking about selling it, then just sell it. You know, at the end of the day, it's not about the money, it's about what makes you sleep at night, and you don't really want to be stressed out and worried about things, and don't end up doing stuff purely because of the money, because generally what happens then, if you're doing something purely because of the money and you have little hiccups along the way or a bit of stress along the way, then it makes you start to doubt yourself and doubt your decision. You're wondering why you did it in the first place, because you never wanted to do it in the first place, and then you get all stressed and you can't sleep at night and you're like, oh my god, this is all too hard, basically. Whereas if you really believe why you're doing something, you really understand why you're getting there. Hey Mitchell, thanks for joining. Then you're going to get through to the end, and particularly with a block of land, something that you can't do anything with a block of land, basically. You can kick the footy on it, maybe play cricket, but it's not you can't live in it, you can't rent it out, you can't do anything with a block of land. So really the only way, hey Mark, thanks for watching, the only way you're going to be able to take any benefit of having a block of land is to build a house on it. So if you're not invested in the idea of if you're building a house and getting it finished off, and you're not really motivated to make that happen, then it is a process. It's not going to happen in a few weeks or something. It's going to take at least 6 months, probably more. So and with a half-finished house, you can't sell a half-finished house. You can't rent it out. You can't live in it. You can't do anything. So you've got to get to the end. So that's what I'm saying. You've got to really be invested. If you want to get to the end, you've got to make sure you try and get there, basically. So yeah, if you are weighing up the options, if you literally are 50-50, you're thinking, oh, shall I just build it? You want to sell it, you've decided I want to sell it, I want to put some cash in my pocket, I don't want to hang on to it any longer, then you really have to look at the financial side of things. And so it comes down to, is it better to sell as a block of land, or is it better to build a house and then sell it as a house? Really, the market changes, basically. So sometimes it's better to sell land, sometimes it's better to sell houses. When I've sold, hundreds and hundreds of blocks of land over my time and done a lot of house and land packages and sold lots of houses and stuff. It quite often comes down to people's perceptions. If people are really pessimistic about the market and they're really pessimistic about they're going to lose their job, then quite often they don't want to buy a block of land and build a house. They're worried that if they lose their job while the house is getting built, then you're not going to be able to finish it off, and they're going to be massively stressed out. So in that situation, they're more inclined to buy an existing house, buy one that's already built. They can move in there straight away, and if they lose their job, then too bad, basically. So yeah, in those situations, you're going to get a premium for an existing house, like one that's already built, compared to a block of land. Whereas when the market's, everyone's really optimistic, everyone thinks they're going to get a pay rise next week, and they think the market's going to go up, then quite often people are inclined to buy a block of land and build, because they think, oh, by the time the house is built, I've made all this equity, I've saved some money on stamp duty, and then I get the house I want, the house I've always dreamed of, and then it's going to be all this, it's going to be a warranty, it's going to be all these good things about building. So straight away, their frame of mind is positive, and so people that are inclined to build probably have a more positive frame of mind. People that are inclined to just want to buy an existing house and move in, quite often they're settling. It's not the house they've always dreamed about. It's not the perfect house for them, because at the end of the day, if you're buying someone else's house, it's never going to be the perfect house for you. You're having to compromise, because it's always somebody else's house. Whereas if you're building a house, you can really design it to suit what you want. So it can be your dream house. So yeah, that's why quite often it's depending on the market, and there's periods of time where, I think it's definitely worth building, because, you get, once it's built, you're going to get a premium for the property, and that might, depending on where the market's at, sometimes that's 30, 40, 50 grand more than just selling a block of land. So why not just build the house and sell it, and you can make the 40, 50 grand on top. So, and likewise, the other good thing about building is if you can't sell it, then you can always just rent it out. Or you can live in it yourself. So you've always got that backup plan. With a block of land, you don't have a backup plan. Basically, if you can't sell a block of land, you drop the price. That's basically all you can do, really. So, or take it off the market. So as far as specifically for Wallaroo, what Wallaroo is going to do, again, it doesn't doesn't really matter. Really, just got to look at what you want to do. You know, do you need the cash? Do you not need the cash? You know, if it's just a fact, what else can you use that money for? You know, if you're weighing up, do I build this house and rent it out in Wallaroo relative to another investment? You know, it's relevant. It's all about what you're going to do with the money, really. So if you're going to lock that aside for another 12 months or so while you're waiting the house to get built, but you could take that, I don't know what a block of land's worth in Wallaroo, but let's say 100 grand, you could take that 100 grand and put it into another investment that's going to return way more money, then just sell it and then put it in something else. So it's not necessarily meaning it's not a good investment. Investing in Wallaroo is not a good investment building or whatever. It's just, what is it relative to what else you can do with the money? So it's all relative, I suppose. So that's the sort of things I'd be thinking about. So firstly, deciding whether you want to do it or not. And you know, if your gut feel is that you just want to sell it, then just sell it, really. If you're still undecided, you know, you've weighed up your gut feel and you're not really sure, then try and do the numbers. But really, you know, just look at what's happening around the area. Try and work out what finished off houses are selling for, and work out what blocks of land are selling for. Add the price of the build on there and see if there's any profit in it. You know, if it's only 5 grand profit, then just sell the land. If it's 50 grand profit, then, you know, probably worth a little bit of a hassle factor of building a house. So hopefully that made sense to you, and thanks for watching. And yeah, if you've liked what I said, then please click on the like button. If you haven't liked what I said, then click on the like button anyway. Maybe make me try a bit harder for next time. And if you've got any questions you'd like answered, then feel free to put it in the comment box. If you find someone that might find this useful, then yeah, click on the share button and share it with your friends, and hopefully they'll find it interesting. And yeah, that's all for me tonight, and hope you have a good night, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.